Yeah, we told Ellen to instantly because she's from Harvard University.
Yeah.
What would the book do for you? No passion for development. Then Umo Joshua will put the meanest man in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's me.
Connections then you not get it.
You have no connection.
Yeah. Just say that Doma, all kind of things that just happen here. I'm sure no he no tea.
When he was 12 years older Ellen. Ellen did not want him to become president. So Ellen did not introduce him to many leaders. Ellen was doing her thing on her own. She was traveling from country to country and kept a man in the garage for 12 years, according to Boyka himself.
Yes.
That means he was not empowered to meet any leader. When the African leader themselves need support from the West.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All African leaders need support from the West.
Yeah.
No African leader will help another African leader with money for development.
Yeah.
In the West.
Get the type of structure. They come say even they could just be getting you $1 million for the budget year. Every year they give you $1 million. You impact.
If I were president of this country, God show you his wonder. You're not believing. We told Joshua for what? You're not footballer.
Yeah.
A football develop country. A football bring medicine in the head.
No.
Yeah, we told Ellen to instantly because she's from Harvard University.
Yeah.
What would the book do for you? No passion for development. Then Umo Joshua will put the meanest man in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's me.
Connections then you not get it.
You have no connection.
Yeah. Just say that Doma, all kind of things that just happen here. I'm sure no he no tea.
When he was 12 years older Ellen. Ellen did not want him to become president. So Ellen did not introduce him to many leaders. Ellen was doing her thing on her own. She was traveling from country to country and kept a man in the garage for 12 years, according to Boyka himself.
Yes.
That means he was not empowered to meet any leader. When the African leader themselves need support from the West.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All African leaders need support from the West.
Yeah.
No African leader will help another African leader with money for development.
Yeah.
In the West. That's not about Boyka.
Okay.
Because when we have wrote, the Senate did a comprehensive report of their findings and attached the Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. And the position statement for those commissioners who decided from Badia to where. And said the way forward is a Panama House discussion for peace. Then when Boyka come now, he is deceived by coming there, by the Dillon there, Nombi there, and you know where he's just thinking all kind of way, Boyka, all kind of thing. He want to go after people. Then, you know, the CDC still control the lower house, the upper house.
Mm-hmm.
So they went some kind of way, some kind of thing they did, Bagati thing, they did a resolution that passed because of money crossing.
Yeah.
Then they sent it to the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Then something happened. Wow! All that they almost signed to Yombi house. Then they brought it that Tuesday morning. They didn't tell me they had it for me. Oh! Then when I heard what was happening, it was remain 2 persons to sign. That was me, that was Bani, Jim Bani. Now when I went to Kun, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own leadership, and we sent the report with all documents, legal documents, to guide where. Then Boyka benefited from the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the election in 2011 because he was not wrong with Ellen.
You're right.
He benefited.
You're right.
Then after serving about for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finished campaign for that kind of old man, then he wants to persecute us. He got grant to persecute us. So what is going on with Kun? Then Kun said, well, what I will do for you is to help you with lawyer. Your partners and go look for lawyer. It was from Kun offered, my own son offered that I went and found a resolution. I remember saying to them, why y'all did this? You know what they told me?
No.
Resolution is not a law. So, starting the resolution, I mean, we agree. Bring it now. When Baga send a bill, they will not put all the law they put in now and back it.
Oh, okay. That was a smart move.
I said correct move.
So Liberia is in trouble.
Correct move.
But I tell you this, I still repeat, if the president refuses to change, then the government is in trouble. The government, if you finish this government, let's thank God. Because as from next year, it's said to be fluctuating. And all the people that is in the government, they are liars. All of them. They don't know why they are there. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know the reason of staying in that system. They are just pushing the vehicle like this. They don't know where they don't know where it's going. So the forefathers of Liberia, they are in pains. It's very regrettable. Even the former president, Syphilis, is even regret having this person as a president. So that is just it. They believe that Dr. Ware is too much for Liberia. That is the man who have brought total transformation to Liberia. That is a man who will have turned Liberia to mini London or mini US. And he will have done it in second term. But they didn't understand. They are angry with him. They believe that he's against them. They believe that he doesn't like Liberians. That's what they believe. That's what they believe. You say Liberia will be zero in sports. Zero.
In sports?
Tell me so. Zero. Oh yeah, go to Nations Cup now. Go to Nations Cup. Let's see. Let me see you Nations Cup. Go to Nations Cup. I'll give $500,000. If you qualify for Nations Cup, I'll give your national team $500,000. I promise. Your nations your experience in Liberia now. If you don't know, in 2 years' time, Liberia will be worse. Will be one of the worstest country in the whole world. What I mean, worstest country in the whole world. If Liberia will not protest against this government, tell me there is no God. If Liberia will not begin to cry, coming together to cry and said, we don't want you again, leave, resign, tell me there's no God. I will never serve God again. I am a prophet of God, and I'm talking as a prophet. Right? The hardship, you have not seen the hardship now. In 2 years' time, you will see the hardest hardship you have never experienced. Liberia will drink dirty water, and they will be thanking God for drinking. That is the kind of president you have. This president does not have anything. He doesn't have any template. He doesn't have any roadmap for the nation. They just force him there. It was rigged election. Rigged election. It was forced on you people. It was forced to be president. So, and the people who connive to do all of this and put him there, right? US.
You mean US, the United States?
United States. They are involved in this election. I am telling you, not politically, I am telling you spiritually what I foresaw. It was rigged. Totally rigged. And now they have seen it, that this person does not know anything. This person cannot help the nation. This person cannot put the nation right.
Will determine his clear vision for the country. Okay, so it also includes the development of some of these problems. For instance, I know it can be argued understandably that the overpower bridge that the Chinese government is about to build, and the road from Cassidy Boulevard to 12th Street, they were all in the Pueblo, and that's true. but it was blocked in the pipeline. The President Bouakar's visit to China, reassuring China that when we are taking action on the global stage, we will take it with our own interest first as a country, not to please any other person before Liberia's interest, and then people fighting, then we join inside and go stand.
Just a final question.
Yeah. So, you see, he visited to the FOCA, to the China Africa Forum, has now got China excited with the new commitment to come do these projects. They are in town already. You call the Minister of Public Works, he will tell you the Chinese government don't waste time when they say they want to do something. But when you step on their interest, then you're in problem with them. Now, anytime we want to do anything on the global stage, the first question we should be asking, what's in it for us as a country and people? And if what's in it for us is good as a country and people, if other countries benefit from the trickle-down effect of our vote, okay. But we must never again vote on something that will hurt ourselves as a country and people.
For the tension we've created the few times, especially almost creating embarrassment for this country. As it relates to the speaker, the embarrassment we created to the government that got everybody confused, want to apologize. But let me tell you why it happened. There is always a reason for these things. There's a common practice at the House of Representatives, even the entire legislature. Whenever you go to the first round of election, we await the second round to determine the speaker. In the issues of consensus, we await the second round to determine the speaker. We believe that whenever a speaker is from the party of the government, it makes our work easier. There will be not too much confrontation. The tension we created this few days emanated from what I call it unfair that tradition to be changed. They remember in the 54, one was chamber, but then the speaker. They never have one member than CDC then. But the fact that Baba Chima was a seditious, and moreover his party won the presidency, His Excellency, the former President George Manuel, we decided to give the right to Buffer's chamber. There was no contention. Normally, the president takes the speaker and the deputy falls in the opposition to balance the house. But under our regime, the 55th legislature, there were people who felt were smarter than us in terms of following the tradition. After we won the election, our president was waiting for the second round. Fortunately for all Unity Party emerged victorious, we called for a meeting and we told our fellow lawmakers. And this time around, the seat is for Unity Party. They said, no way, it can't happen. You gotta get money more than you, I know more than you, I'm more sophisticated more than you. It can't happen. We fought to take this seat. It was on that basis that when we won the election, we lost by 5 votes. And I can tell you this because I apologize for the tension created by us. But more, there was a reason. It was on that basis that we felt if our government will have an opposition speaker, it will suppress the success of the referendum. I'll be honest with you, no matter how you feel. It was on that basis that today we emerged victorious because we know the right agenda of the House is to have a speaker.
A systematic erosion of democracy. Executive overreach and open disregard for our constitution. Lawlessness in the legislature, with the presidency turning a blind eye even when the sacred hall of our democracy go up in flames. Security forces brutalizing peaceful citizens, while millions are being spent on so-called operations that offer no protection to ordinary Liberians. They said we were the problem, but now the Liberian people can see for themselves. This is why I call on all of you today, not just to believe, but to act, not just to hope. This is why Let us call on all of you today, not just to believe, but to act, not just to hope, but to build. Let us invest in the movement that has invested in you. Let us pay our due so that the party remains financially and politically prepared. Your dues are more than money. They are a seed of commitment, a pledge of loyalty.
People supported the Unity Party. I came to power, I left them there. These are citizens of the country. But you can employ a Senegalese man and you refuse to employ a Liberian? Is that what it is?
Are ready to step forward, take charge,
it's wrong.
And prepare for the future.
Everything that is doing is wrong, baby.
Political leader,
is wrong.
I promise you this.
Breaking our laws is wrong.
We will not rest.
We will not retreat.
We will organize, mobilize, and energize until we reclaim the leadership of Liberia. But let us do it the CDC way, peacefully, lawfully, strategically, and respectfully. Because when our time comes, and aid will come, believe me, we must be ready not just to win, but to govern better. We must correct the wrong, improve the system, and restore the dignity of the Liberian people. So let us unite, let us rise, let us believe, and let us build. And to all our young people, I say, stay focused, stay clean, stay strong. To our women, you are the backbone of this movement. Keep rising. To our elders, your wisdom is still needed. Stay with us. And to our opponents, we see the failure and we are coming to face it. Again, as the great Nelson Mandela said in a quote, it always seems impossible until it is done. Unquote. The party is alive, strong and mighty. The revolution shall continue. A belief we will uphold to death. The future is not beyond us. The future is still ahead. And together we will get there. And so I want to close with this advice. Wait well. Liberia and Liberian will call on you again. And therefore, be prepared to win again and lead again. Remember, we are the common people. So let us all unite for the betterment of our country and our people.
Okay, let me say hands up to all of you wherever you are. And we are grateful to the Almighty God that we are right here. And with God, all things are possible. And we are here whenever we find ourselves any the weekend as this. And with life being on our side and good health as well, we are grateful. It is not that we are important than those who may be suffering and battling sickness, especially some of our fans and of course and friends and families. It is not that we are important than they do or we have better relationship with God than they do. It's just only by the grace of God we are to where we are. So we are right here together on this very day, and welcome. Today is a great day, and the 30th day in the month of May. So tomorrow is going to be the 31st, and so we're going on and on we go, and we are certainly getting there. With God, all things are possible, right? With God, all things are possible. I don't know how you look at it, but again, God is going to get us through. So the month has already ended practically. So we don't have time on our side again. The month has ended. There's nothing else we can say about that. Yeah, so with God all things are possible, and we are certainly going to get there. And no matter what it is and what the circumstances are, we are getting there. So you only have tomorrow by the grace of God to just sign on. But we are done. We are done. Hands up to my fantastic students wherever you people are. We are getting there. And Daniel Efta, hands up, Ambassador brother. How's everything? And We think for sure with God, all things are possible. And we are very much grateful to the Almighty God for that. And with God, all things are possible. So, we are here. Welcome to the program. The Friday's edition of the program, Face the Issues. So, we have Newton Tuta, my host, who's always been in the back producing. He's tonight with me. And so in the diaspora, we have Prince Sharif joins us tonight as well. Tonight, we are going to make it very firing. And as always, so Newton, my co-host, is on tonight. And as well, on the Friday edition, he's my co-host, Newton Tuta. So we are right here together on this very diet and grateful to the Almighty God for everything and anything we do. Newton, how's everything with you? You know, easy. Yeah. In spite of all of the difficulties, we're still moving on. Yeah, I like that. In spite of all the difficulties, we are still moving on. Yeah, you know, you don't have to back down. Yeah, you still have to move forward. Yeah. And I think it's very much great. And I think we are getting there. Honestly. By the grace of God.
Yeah, gradually we're getting there. It's a gradual process. Yeah.
It's what?
It's a gradual process. So gradually we're moving on.
Yeah, we have to. Once there is life, there's hope, and there's nothing else you can do about it. But there are a lot of things, and I will be hearing about the last time, and you ever went to it was that area there. I don't really know whether it is Bon County or it is in Magibi. That Salala area, Wela or Salala?
No, Salala is in Bon County.
Oh, Salala is in Bon County.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because you have to cross that bridge. That bridge.
That's Nyanfola.
Nyanfola. That's the Nyanfola bridge. Yeah. Nyanfola. Yeah, that's to the north of Nyanfo.
Yeah.
So Nyanfo is the river name, right?
Yeah, that's the river.
Nyanfo. So in Pele, Nyanfola means that means at the north of the river. Yeah, Nyanfola. Yeah, I know that one too.
Yeah.
I like that. That's fantastic. Nyanfola. Yeah, we really enjoy that, and that's very much fantastic. But again, they said some guys were staging protests on money that Waka gave concerning those fire victims.
Yes. That's the Tuta, fire victims.
Oh, okay, Tuta fire victims. In County. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They were staging protests in the manner of comprehensive financial report relative to monies that were being collected during the fire incident in Tuta. As you may recall, the current president provided 10 million United States dollars. Yes, 10 million. And World Bank provided 450,000 through the Ministry of Health, and the Bong Legislative Caucus. Individual lawmakers provided, even the former Speaker Funantikova visited the people of that area. He also provided 8,000 United States dollars. So that's why the people are protesting on grounds that the disaster management team that was established by the representative women Bridge Mensa up to present, they are yet to provide comprehensive financial report. And some of the survivors are struggling in terms of getting medication since they were being discharged from the different hospitals and all of that. Yeah.
Okay, I hope. And so you go fire people money and brand people money.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible. By the way, how's up to you, Prince Sharif? They say Prince Sharif is now the Secretary General, the acting Secretary General for their interim arrangement to have a concerted effort towards 2029, especially for the CDC USA chapter. And if so, and certainly I've heard that. Let me say congratulations to you, Prince Sharif. It's great to join us tonight, right here on this diet.
Thank you. To just make the correction, I'm supposed to be on the team as Assistant Secretary General for the interim team.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that arrangement probably will be consummated, hopefully, at the end of this month. But again, we are grateful. Thank you so much for always giving us the opportunity. This is something that we really hold dearly because it is not easy. There are people who, when they have such an opportunity, to look at other people and give them this kind of platform where their voices can be heard. It's very difficult. We live in a society where people believe that, they must always use others as a ladder and keep you down. So for you to give us this opportunity, especially on this particular prestigious platform, is something that we hold dearly. And we want to say thanks to you as always, to the management. and also to His Excellency President Dr. George Manawia, that have always looked for the potential in people, despite of the human, shortcomings. So I want to say thank you to my brother Newton. I want to say thank you so much for all that you do for the Liberian people. We are thrilled by your work, and we are always encouraged to do more by what you people do in Liberia. So we are here. But as usual, it is not a very favorable day for us whenever we hear of what is happening in Liberia. To see a nation that was well respected of most recent, a nation that even the U.S. ambassador McCarthy even said on his platform that our democracy was enviable, is something that other African nations was envy about, the way we carried ourselves. Now, to see that we have fallen from that stage of an enviable democratic nation to a nation where people are using us as one of the most bad examples for democracy, the rule of law, and etc. When we wake up in the morning, our hearts are very heavy. To see even the rule of law being disrespected by the very president who took an oath to defend the Constitution. So we are not very excited, but again, we are grateful that we still have, the breath within us, but our hearts bleed, especially for what is happening with the death news and etc. etc. But again, we want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity. We are here again. And like you always said, we will get there. Whether we will crawl to get there, whether we will run to get there, whether tears will be coming in our eyes to get there. But one thing I know and I believe in what you always say, we will get there. Through our own effort or through our own mistake, we will get there. So we are there. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. So, Prince, and I think that there's a crack in the back. I don't know, but your background is cracking in. I don't know what could be the problem. We want to get you clear, though we got you, but that cracks were coming. Those cracks were coming in. Yeah, I think you can adjust on that. We need, to hear that firing voice clearly. And so it's very much clear tonight, and I'm sure it's very much good, and we get in there. So there is it right here. Emmanuel Bro says something here. Let me just try to run up with his quote right here before we continue with what we have here. But in the meantime, let me just announce to you today Super Friday, where we get 25,000 to people for playing the what? The radio entertainment cash giveaway. And of course, right here tonight, and the draws are going to be done. Newton Tuta will coordinate that alongside, because we'll be between, betwist, and so forth here and there. So Newton and out of our Prince Sharif will do most part of it, and tonight together, and Newton will do the draws alongside. So you can play *799 *24# and then you just play it out, and you will be able to get 25,000 were you to be declared the winner here tonight. And remember, for those of you out there, the Liberty Fortune scratch cards are out there, and I think the team is working out for you people. It's for the sake of the country. You will get to understand it one day. It's all about you and for you, and that's what it's all about. Everything we put our hands into, or whatever it is, it's about you, and we are very grateful about that. So tomorrow another draw is going to be done. Like we said, the team is revisiting, and they could be revisiting. You have several winners on Saturday, so never feel discouraged about anything. You could still be and okay. So let me just try to read this out from Emmanuel Bros, who says here, he said to our opponents, we see your failure. And he's trying to re-quote George Weah's statement. He said, to our opponent, we see your failure and we are coming to fix it. And that's brilliant statement that he just recorded from George Weah's piece, and the former president of the Republic of Liberia. And of course, he is showing the word and the CDC in the words that indeed he's poised to return to power in 2030, where he will be able to get back on course and do what he thinks he can do for the Liberian people. And I think one of the somebody met me and the president said something, and Prince, I will just share with you. I will laugh. The guy said he's one of the executives of the CDC. He said you were passing by, so one old man from America, and I stopped him and called him by name, and he immediately stopped in the traffic. He said, when you see George, he just shouted across, just in the traffic. He said, when you see George, tell George. All that he's doing, he said he's building the other thing, building the other part here, and then tell George, let the country ball. Now, and they wouldn't tell me, George. And that is the essence of the whole thing, right? Let the country ball. During those days, I remembered when our parents were in Grand Bassa County, the people used to make our parents to ball. Yeah. And you see, that's why you see most of them, they stay with these components for years. Balling is part of life. That's what brings in, it takes away stress. Even when a man gets a problem in his home, and he thinks that he want to go sit somewhere and just ball with his friends For that moment, he's revived. You know, and that is it. But you come from work stress, you go home stress, nowhere to go. As a result, people will die. You see, now their bodies are all in the street. Some of these people, they're dying not because they are taking in some strange substances and things. Some of them are just frustration killing them. Because you got anywhere to go ball. You know, when you go ball somewhere, you can go sit up with your friends, at least you're sharing some ideas and things. Those are times that friends will exchange ideas and things and say, oh, look, that thing, man. That's not anything you can put your heart to. You still have friends. Or let's say, for instance, a woman left you and you don't get anything, but you get friends. But yeah, you there now, you don't ever go meet those friends or something like that. You just play on you go kill yourself one time because there's nowhere. So just flex up. And those things, it can help. And I think it's very much important that we need all of that. But again, with God, like we said, let the country board, but the country not boarding again, or Joseph Bogai. Right? The country not boarding. Sharif, Joel Maggie. What's up? How's everything with you? Yeah. Well, man, you will count on too. Yeah. You are our international coordinator for Kings FM. And of course, the royal family. And so we are here. Any country board. If I say any country board, you say, yeah, take joy. Any country, yeah, board. And I want you to see your president. I was a boarding president. You didn't understand President Weah. President Weah's expression was, that is what governance is all about. People should be happy. People should board. But you all see in the election here, when Georgia get ready, he will take the country money, share it, and give it to people. The country, people need a ball. They're not wait for budget yet. There, people need a ball. Tell your official name when people come to your house and you're getting money. Let them go ball. Let everybody ball. Your one can be balling. But when they used to give you that money for you to go ball, you say that our country money will eat it. Today, that country money not there again. You're not balling again. You see that? We are new about governance. Putting smiles on the faces of people, let them ball. If you want ball at entertainment center, that A. If you want ball in your park, that A. Because sometimes during our days, we were not drinkers, but we went ball tonight. When you say we went ball tonight, that JBC, John before you clear, that means we are going to ball our rice and whatever it is. That's the kind of things we used to do. And you know, you used to know about balling business? You did balling?
Yeah, JBC.
JBC.
Yeah, JBC.
Join before you clear.
Yeah, you have to join before you clear. and what used to happen is I used to keep you up very late. Sometimes 1 o'clock midnight, 2 midnight. Yes, I will sleep before you start eating.
So what I noticed about the JBC group, they used to have this sour belly giving a hard time because it's late night.
The hour you eat, the
JBC group. One of the things that you will notice about the JBC group is that there are so many used to just be BBE from them because they're drinking beer, not no beer. They're just let our eating. Their stomach just puff out like that. So the JBC group they will wait on their
So now when the men are cooking and then the next morning the old man not seeing that chicken, so chicken will get messy the next morning.
Don't before you play.
So the men is a clear chicken.
I remember one time, you know what we used to dry fish. So now we get ready like that. You go far through the window with your fish on it. Can you sit? But that's not a body point. That kind of body used to go on. Yeah. But my body is part of life. Yeah. How enjoyment days? Yeah. But the country it was for body purpose, and that's the essence of life. You see the UN circle, you see even in America, they put their children, you know, and get boy Atawi. Yeah, that's true. Atawi a little boy. A little boy Atawi, that's true. Atawi, yeah, a little boy. But that body business, yeah. Jim John says that we did that in Firestone too. But you know when our pay them money, you know, you take it, you pay. You listen to that music? Did you? It's a boy. You know, you are a small boy. Yeah. But do you know this? Our part there, you know, you take it, you pay. And sometimes it was not only you take it, you pay. It used to be like you take it, you pay. You take it, you pay, and also you take it, you pay. Meaning, if you touch or you know our part there, they were used to do what your camera is not too good. You gotta get it back, and just get it back there. Yeah. Good, small more, and yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so they used to tell you, say you take it, you pay, bang bang, you take it, you pay, da 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 da. They say, you know, during those days, our old man used to clear their money there, and they used to eat their money there, all those kind of songs there.
Yeah,
and those days were not days when people wore trousers. But man, the Lapa houses own unique way of attracting people. Our partner just used to see Lapa. They just straight take money. They just give it.
And that was a dress. That was a dress code.
That was the dress code at the time, man.
And
you see, Lapa suit. Remember the woman and good man. Yeah, you know, when I'm there these days, children wearing trouser. Not trouser that we used to want to call. Yeah. But again, that's life. You're thinking. By the way, these are times when people will always want to be happy, and that's how you know the economy of the country is booming. The social lifestyle of the people can tell that the economy is booming. Oh, Mama Taylor Stephen laughing. She said that the Labatan. Yeah, Labatan there. How many you to see about there? Just be wasting money. Wasting money all over the place. Then they used to wear this trouser. You know, it came back, but we saw it now the new fashion. That bare ballon trouser with a B4 down. They said that Prenigo trouser.
Oh yeah, that Wacklet jeans.
Wacklet jeans,
yeah,
right?
Wacklet,
Okay,
yeah,
the young people now decided to the new age. People decided to modify and wear Wacklet jeans. But it was not. The streets not used to be dirty because it was the business of the men to wear that trouser and this would be the street way. So anywhere they pass, you will know that.
People use to say sweep my yard. It says sweep my yard.
The Wacklet jeans that I used to really, you know, the Pentecost. And they're not used to cut their hair, then you just see a butcher passing around. I don't know what the woman used to see behind all kind of people there.
And you know, Teacher Light, amazingly, do you know that these factions are some of the most expensive right now in our generation? In those days, you know, it used to be something common people wearing, but now to get this kind of dressing, look, it's so expensive, very expensive. Now they're even modifying that clothes. When people wear it, you say, wow. And you know, the life is just so wonderful. Yeah, you know, we are just in the universe of recycling things.
And the hair plaits during those days that the old manager used to wear, and you know, their natural hair, that's what they used to plait. You don't hear about country plat, you hear about bonsui, or you hear about what they call, the other kind of thing. Those are the kind of hair plat that they used to have. And they were not too expensive during those times because you never had to spend much on a woman or much, you know, but because the woman hair, you're not going to buy hair. It's when they get long hairs and things. It used to be very great. By the way, like we are saying, all we are saying is when the people are balling, it speaks to the growth of the economy. Once people have and they can afford and they can buy anything they want to buy, whether you want to buy shoes, your social lifestyle, it tells how the country is, right? Because all that we're fighting for, whether you are investor this down, how you spend on yourself is what determines as to how better you are being able to amass some wealth. Let me not use the word amass in a context. You got some wealth, and of course, and now you are trying to. We always spend into it. There are two ways in which resources are utilized. It's either an asset or an ability. Now, you must be able to have an asset before you can expand in the liability category, right? Before you can accommodate for liability. So, take the shoes and things, then those are liabilities on us, and we'll have to accommodate for them. But if you don't have an asset, you can't do that. Cash could be an asset. If you don't have it, you can't get it. So as a result, once you don't have it to spend it, you feel so bad and you feel isolated. So that's why people will prioritize people working, and then you can enjoy yourself any kind of way you want to spend your money. You know exactly how it is. So for the fact that the streets are empty, even on a Friday like this, it can tell you that the country is health, the economic health status of our country is not too okay. And I think it's very bad. But anyway, we've got
so your economics, it means if you should go in the market to buy, you should have the purchasing power.
Yeah, you should have the purchasing power.
And what speaks to the purchasing power, you should have employment. Because once you're not working, so once you know,
self-employment or whatever it is, because that one will give you money.
That one will give you money to go to the market and all that. So once you don't have employment, you don't have job, how do you go to the market? How do you get the purchasing power?
That is the point. Yeah, that is the point. But again, we just thank God for that. So let's roll tonight. Right here on this very day, Prince Sharif is here, Newton Tupa. And me, Abraham Gosson, we are right here tonight, so I think okay, let me see. I thought I sent a link to bro ever since. Bro is coming on as well. Yeah, bro, they send you the link and as well. I hope you had it. And so let me connect bro with the link. Yeah, I don't know, but I thought I did. So let me see. William Bro, I thought I sent you the link, and okay, yeah, I thought I sent you the link like I did for Prince. No, this one, no. Oh, sorry, and bro, I think I got the wrong one. And, Prince, you have our bro's number? Huh?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, share the link with him. Yeah, the same link as just share it with him. Yeah, so that's it. And my phone is bit dim, and I hope I can get the be checking the very relax, see on camera. Something here. So we are about to go into today's discussion and about our country. And many of you who love your country, you take your time to listen to us. And one thing we have guaranteed that we'll always do is in respect for you is never to deceive you. Anything we do here will be the truth. We are never going to use propaganda. No. We will tell you the truth because the truth is consistent. And we don't want to find ourselves deceiving you. So we are very grateful that we are here tonight again together and to share with you ideas about your country. Two things we'll start with, and Prince then will come up with the rest of it. The issue about the GAC audit report from the Ministry of State. And we'll also talk about the Liberal Council of Churches. It's good that Prince Sharif and the rest of the other guys are here. The Liberal Council of Churches was able to honor Richard Kun for his distinct services to this country. Really, I don't know why. I don't know how it happened, but that's what it did. So as you will see on your screen, I will just read through it, and then that will be part of it. And other issues of concerns will come in, and we will certainly get there. You see, God is wonderful, and in all we do, we have to be grateful to the Almighty God, and I see it as it is. So, you will see what I'm about to share with you. You're about to see on screen. All right. So this is what they did today. The Liberal Council of Churches. They say the Liberal Council of Churches, LCC, presents this award of distinction and honor. Distinction and honor. God, this country. Distinction and honor to Honorable Richie Nangwe Kun as an astute statesman. No wonder they can be causing people like, oh, that we don't want to astute. Look at the kind of men they call you astute. So you can be causing oil for nothing. So the guy having an astute person. So you see the church pastor there? Jesus. They say astute statement. Astute statement for national development. In recognition of the profound service to national agenda, dedication, and service to what? To the church. To the church, state, and humanity. He got it. Reverend Dr. Samuel B. Reeves. Yeah, Samuel B. Reeves. He is the president. Then we also the president is Secretary General as well. Christopher, I don't know, two or so.
Christopher too.
Yeah,
he's the Secretary General. Christopher too.
Got it. Very corrupt. These guys are morally corrupt. That's Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Sometimes you wonder whether it is in our country these things are happening. You really wonder whether it is happening in our country. But anyway, let's just talk something on the impasse, and then we'll get to the GSA audit reports from the Ministry of State. Prince Sharif, your people now honor Richard Kuna. The thing is over now, at least.
You know, Teacher Light and Liberians that are listening, this is one of the saddest days for some of us, especially those of us, who believe in the Christian doctrine, or those of us who associate with Christianity. This is the saddest day ever in our own history. But again, we will not like to include every churches here. No, we would like to kind of one would say to distinguish that group of individuals from the body of Christ. We want to distinguish that. We have to make it very clear, because if you just put that under the banner of Christianity, then it means that we'll now be doing justice to the church, because there are churches in Liberia that from day one have stood up for the truth, and they are still standing up for the truth. And to see this group of individuals that have been compromised by the state, people like, Bishop Reeves, this is a man that is known for not speaking on behalf of his own congregation. This is somebody who has abandoned his congregation for the pleasure of this world. This is a man who has abandoned his calling. And it reminds me of the day of some of us who have been around for a very long time, of the day of Archbishop Marcus Pakla Francis. These are people who stood up even to quote unquote some of the most tyrannic regime that we ever refer to, the regime of Chancellor, and challenged the regime and looked at the people of Liberia as supreme. And they challenged the regime. But to see today, people like Bishop Reeves and others, they have put themselves together under the banner of one organization, and giving credence to a man who have disrupted the state, a man who is a known criminal as per the records, of most recent, somebody who have misused the resources of the Liberian people, somebody who have hijacked the state and have brought us to public ridicule to the extent that, other nations are now looking down upon our democracy. A man who openly confessed that, in fact, they brought disrepute to the state, that this man will be giving an award and placed in the Hall of Fame of Bishop. I don't know which one of that Hall of Fame that he was placed in, because when you look at the communication, they said that the award that is given to him make him to be placed in the Hall of Fame of Bishop. Is this not a disrespect to men of God who have served our nation with diligence? Is this not a disrespect to the body of Christ, or even to the name of Christ? I mean, men who have stood up to tyrannic regime and individual. Look, this is a disgrace. And I believe that we as Christians, or those of us who believe in the workings of the Almighty, we must stand up to condemn this particular, disgrace that have befallen us, because they are using the name of the church. That's the church that they are using. So we must stand up to condemn it. I think the church should be in the position to be able to checkmate the wrongs that is happening in government. Look at what is happening. Today, the churches are silent. There are few churches that is speaking out against the ills in society. But these so-called traditional churches that are known as, some of the most vibrant, or, when we say, the pioneer churches, these are the churches that have compromised value. And it is not strange, because these people have always depended on the state to survive. Most of these churches, they are dependent on the state to survive. They have never put the interest of the ordinary people, at the table. What is the calling? What is the calling of the church? The calling of the church is to ensure that the sheep are fed. The calling of the church is to ensure that the sheep is well protected. The calling of the church is to ensure that the voice out, like John the Baptist, who look at, the king and say, look, this that you are doing is wrong. You cannot be floating around with your brother's wife, you cannot do this. And because of that, his head was rolled off. But today, do we have the church that is willing to stand in front of this golden image that we have in Liberia by the name of Joseph Numa Bweka and say, look, Joseph Numa Bweka, you are disrespecting the rule of law? Do we have the church today in Liberia that will stand up to this particular Nebuchadnezzar or this golden image that have made themselves law and gospel, that have disrespected the court, have put the court now in a position where they are forced to compromise, or to some extent, some individuals are afraid for their lives? Because we saw that with the Chief Justice, who, when the ruling was given, she said, look, we need extra security. Today, Mr. Bweka has subdued to some extent even the court. Let's look at even the house, where we have separate branches. The house that is supposed to stand on behalf of the people is seriously compromised. Even the church that should be the mediator between men and God, that should have no fear for anybody. You get few individuals. And that's why I think churches now need to organize themselves in a more, one would say, a realistic body, and begin to drive away from this particular Liberia Council of Churches, because I see them as a compromised body, as a body who has always compromised the interests of the sheep for their own personal ego. How can these people recognize this man and place him in the Hall of Fame and say because of it has stood services to the church. You don't know his recent record. The last time I checked, the Bible told us that a man who cannot even manage his own household, that man is not worthy. He is not even somebody who must be given the credence to even head the church. Look at even in his own personal relationship, what happened between his wife these few days. You look at this man that have denigrated a very, traditional institution, a holy institution, his wife, a man that would even want to cook his wife. Of recent, that today there are issues in the court. And this man, you look at him and say he is admitted into the house of bishop. Oh, the bodies of the bishop are rolling in their graves as I speak to you for this disrepute that have been placed upon this body. It is a shame. It is a shame. And Christians must speak out.
It's a shame, and Christians must speak out, and it's very much key as well from what we are sensing from there, and it's very much terrible. And looking at where we are getting as a people, and someone was just writing out and said, and a friend of mine, Blitty, he wrote out and said, we are at a stage now in this country where the church itself needs to be prayed for. Instead of the church praying for the nation, we should now start praying for the church. I think it's now the reverse. So then now, who has that moral voice now to get to God to pray for who? Who prays for who? Is it the church that needs to pray for people, or we need to now pray for the church? Where are we?
It's unfortunate. I think right now, and Teacher Light, Brother AB, and to the audience, sometimes I want to be very careful. Because when we say the church, it's almost like, we are putting, because look, there are some good congregations that we are aware of. There are some congregants who have been calling out the ills in this government. So, for me, I will want to put this group of how you call barbaric falsehood, individuals who are under the banner of Christianity or under the banner of religion, to their council of churches, to this particular devilish council of churches, because what they are doing of recent, what statement have they released in regards to the amount of death that is going on in Liberia? Every day we wake up to another death. Are these people who are dying, are they not members of the churches? Are they not members of their church? Today, as we speak to you, the enrollment at various universities have dramatically reduced or have dropped because of the way this government is proceeding. That they are sacking people who they should be empowering. Today, they are giving the jobs that belongs to Liberians to foreigners. The last time we heard of the Minister of Labor, who said he gave about 8,000 permits to foreigners to come and do cleaning job, to come and do what you call receive renting job, and the rest of it. Where is the church on this? Where is the church? So this group of people, I want to refer to them in Liberia because I don't know, but it's just difficult. But again, there is a need for us to be able to dissect this group of how you call Nebuchadnezzar followers to that of the church. Because the church has always been playing its part. There are individuals in the church that have been calling out the ills in society. There are some pastors, like for example, the church, water in the desert. I think the water in the desert pastor. He has been one person that has been very vocal, has been speaking out against the ill. So when you put this man under the category of these people that have compromised their own religion, that have given the devil, the only thing that is remaining now is for the Liberia Council of Churches to announce to the world that they will be officially crowning the devil, Satan himself. Because their behavior is just in, conformity with giving Satan the right in the church.
You're right. And you are 100% right about that. So let me just hear from one of the bishops in this country and to hear from his perspective briefly on it. And Bishop Matthew Goy. How you doing, Bishop? How's everything with you? Well, we just want to hear from him, but of course it's up. But again, Olubangi King Agerele, I think they said she blasted in the hall and said that it was a total disgrace. Has she ever known that the program was being characterized by such? And I think it was been terrible, and I so this is it. But let me just try to get an initial position.
Good evening.
Yeah, how you doing, Bishop? How's everything with you? Hello? Hello? Wow, you get it on, Chief, and I hope I get it. But again, I was talking it. I think we have to get that clip where the former foreign minister and Olubangi King Agerele was able to blast and the Council of Churches. We don't want to say the church. Yeah, you are right, Prince. We got to be cautious in not saying the church, the Council of Churches, and I made of the current breed of leaders. And what are you doing?
Well, thank God I'm okay.
Okay, great to have you on. Yeah, briefly.
Hello, AB, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Are you getting me? I hope you are getting me.
I'm getting you.
Okay, good. Go on. So we are discussing.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Let me just get it off here and then get you there. Yeah, I think I'm getting you now. Are you getting me? Yeah, are you getting me? I think you are getting me now.
AB, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing so fine. I know you're getting me now.
AB, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How you doing, Bishop?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Bishop. How you doing? Okay, he will call back if he can. But again, that's exactly what we're talking. So they said she had to blast them in the hall and say, now look, this is not called for. And I hope we can get a video and it'll be played out so that we get her as well. The Bishop calls back. Let me see what I can get in again. Bishop, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing so fine. Yeah. So we are discussing what happened today, and I know it didn't come as a surprise to people like us, but again, for it to come to this level, there are a lot everyone else is saying concerning what the Council of Churches did today. First of all, are you a part of the Liberal Council of Churches, your congregation?
No, I'm not a part.
Okay.
I'm not a part, and I will never be a part.
Why?
I will just take you back to the
Sorry?
Council of Churches was founded in 80s, around 82.
Say that again. You said the Council of Churches were formed to what?
Not to speak against the ill of society.
Okay.
If you follow the history of the Council of Churches, they were against, it was founded to be against certain group of people.
Okay.
That started with the late President Samuel Doe.
Okay.
Because people have grouped themselves together to go against the leadership of Samuel Doe.
Okay.
That's how the Council of Churches was founded, to gain the sympathy of a lot of people. The unfortunate thing about it was Doe got himself mixed up in the Council of Churches when he even became a member of the Providence Baptist Church, not knowing that they were working against him. Now, you can understand that during the civil crisis, the Council of Churches role in that crisis, they were being biased. They supported the removal and the killing of Samuel Doe in Banjul. And people are still supporting them as if to say they were doing anything good. If we would single out any individual from the Council of Churches, it was Michael Bakla Francis of the Cali Church.
Okay.
You can check on Jala Grayfield. I gave so many interviews regarding what was going on. And I called about 8 media stations, and only Jala Grayfield Station and Star Radio, they were the only one that stated what I said to the public, especially around the election of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Fast forward, whatever the Council of Churches has done, they have done it against certain group of leaders. For example, in recent time, it was against President Weah when they were in support of the late Charles Johnson. Charles Bronski, Charles Walker Bronski, and they came up with so many large vision. But fortunately, George Weah came out as a leader. Again, George Weah, when he became president, he also tried to align himself with the leadership of the Council of Churches. Now you can see that they are really supporting President Bouaka in order that during the next election, that a lot of people will not go the way of other presidents. That's why they decided to honor the quote-unquote speaker, who has admitted and agreed from your show yesterday that every problem for the past 6 months in the House of Representatives, they caused that problem. Now, one of the things for which I call tonight is that you, A.B. William, when tongue juke a man, instead of taking out the tongue, you will cut the flesh and the tongue to get tongue out. So you always condemn men of God and whatever the case may be. Every one of us, we are not part of the council of churches. But there are reasons for which, one, let me, I'm very vocal and you know it.
Yeah.
And like I said, Disgraceful has my history. But Liberian people, they ain't worth dying for. I'm telling you, AB, they ain't worth dying for. What you didn't say before the election, we will look at wrong and choose it and then come back to it.
You're right.
During the civil crisis, Lema Bowie and some other ladies, they invited Bishop to the Lutheran church. And they, the lady, they called us and every bishop went there to...
Yeah, Bishop? Bishop, you stay on?
Hello?
Yeah, you will stay on. We are getting you. Yeah.
Hello, AB?
Yeah, we are getting you. Go on. Yeah.
Hello?
I am getting you. We are getting you. Can you please continue?
Okay. So every bishop went there and they were giving those ladies greetings. When they called me,
wow, Bishop just slip off, and you can call back Bishop, and we continue from there. And then, but again, this is Urubangi Kings Agerelli and King Agerelli, and I go out to condemn what happened at apparently, and this is an excerpt from there. So I'm just trying to share with you as well tonight, right here on this die. We are certainly.
Minister, what is wrong? This is wrong. Ambassador?
So this is how the church, Joseph Boaga is destroying every fabric of our society. Under his leadership, every good and moral voice entity of this country is being destroyed. Everything under Joseph Boaga is being destroyed. The church is destroying. And you get people that you used to call your leaders. They are just like that. But again, thanks, like Bishop Boy said, and other pastors as well. We want to say thanks to all of you. And sorry if I've been saying the church, and certainly you are 100% right. And like Prince Sharif also said, to say, look, the church, no, we can't say the church. The council of churches led by these XYZ leaders. And they are the ones that are very compromised, and they have placed a dent on an institution, and of course portraying the image of the church in a most negative way. And so I don't know, remember these kind of people, I don't know. Anyway, that's like, but again, praise is there, and so forth. I had wanted to have a conclusion from the bishop on a statement, so know that, and certainly certain members and of the church, they are the one that are destroying everything about the church, and which is very, 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 very important to note. And I think for sure, yeah, that's the fact about it. So, yeah, Bishop, we just want you to conclude. Yeah, you were in conclusion.
Okay, so like I said, during the crisis, Lema Bowie and other ladies invited us to the Lutheran church.
Okay.
And then they were asking the church leader for their intervention. And I told them one thing. African ladies, when they are happy, especially Liberian, they will do one thing. When they are into trouble, crisis, they will do the same thing. They say, why is that? I say, when our ladies, our traditional ladies, when they are very happy, maybe if a lady gave a birth, they will take out their lapa to show their gratitude and every other thing. When they are in danger, when you see them running from the bush, they will take out their lapa, then you will know that they are in serious danger.
That's true.
So child said were coming, you took out your lapa, you went to red light, you spray it. Now that he has endangered the country, go back in the market and take out your lapper and spray it, then we know you are serious. And they got against me. So there are a lot of things, and one day I would like to come on your show.
Yeah, sure.
But please do not always
no,
of us.
Never again. You guys are exempt. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So the leaders, while you are fighting for them, at the same time when they take power, they will try to go and give support to the very council of churches that has been condemning them.
You're right.
Even my own son Jawia was into that same era.
You're right.
Thank you for having me tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the council of churches. But there are people who are supposed to have this moral voice, and that's why it is. That's why we are holding up to it. Yeah, Prince, so you listen to the narrative, and as well, Newton was just here. Newton was the one that even shared the stuff with me, and he's a reporter himself, and he's been out there and following on a lot of issues. Newton, what say you about what we are now sensing? Where you think our country is headed with all of this?
Yes, and Chief, I have sat quietly to listen to Mr. Sharif, and I really appreciate his own view relative to this. And in fact, the thing is, it's not the Liberal Council of Churches; it's the Interreligious Council. The Interreligious Council is a conglomeration of several religions. We comprises of the Muslim and the Christian religion. So this,
but on this occasion, this one is the LCC.
Yeah,
the LCC and now the Muslim Council, when they come together, then it's the Interreligious Council. But on this occasion, it is the AC. Let me say the LCC. Yeah, the LCC that they didn't want to have their convention. I don't know, something like that. But they are in crisis. There are some aggrieved members who never even wanted this convention held. And they are breaking all of the laws. Anybody who associates with Joseph Boga, you got to break all the laws.
Yeah.
In the council of churches, their tenure have expired. These people doing this thing, their tenure have expired, and they get other people calling them to check, and they're breaking the laws, and they are now awarding lawless people. So it's like birds of the same feathers, they flock together.
So to add up to what Mr. Chevy just said, and is that for me, what I've noticed is that the decision that was taken, I think maybe, and the LCC will have to rethink to rescind their decision. But to rescind their decision, because for me, I don't believe that it speaks to the holistic view of majority of bulk of the executives of the LCC. That's what I think. Honoring, like Mr. Chevy said, honoring Rachel Kuhn. When did Rachel Kuhn became legitimate? It was of recent when he became legitimate speaker. The West Point, when he went to West Point to honor him, he said they were responsible for the crisis at the level of the House of Representatives, but then all of the monies that he collected as speakers, illegitimate speaker at that rate, and bringing the country at a standstill, constitutional crisis, and all of that, and honoring that kind of man, it means that all of those things that he did, but then those were all good things. Because that's why you honoring him. Because that's what I say is not good for our country. It doesn't speak to the principles of Christianity and all of that. For me, I look at it to be something that is completely outlandish. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
I think that's great. Prince, you did listen, but of course, let's get a gist of the former foreign minister Olubanke King Akerele, and in her own outburst against them and said this is totally a disgrace, and certainly it is a disgrace. So let's listen to her again. And I think it would be able to help us.
Minister, what is wrong? Ambassador?
I see what Bishop sitting out there with who Bishop. They put like two disgrace. I don't why they get where they go through there, even to go to those kind of places there to go through what thing there with to go show what thing. Why they put like go show roti there down there and they kind of thing there. I see one Bishop there. And I'll show you.
And they are tired.
visionary. Visionary, I put over. I get ready to understand it. What can I put in there?
You know, yeah, the first thing is, let's look at the song that was being sung at that particular occasion. And there is a need for us to educate our people adequately. These people, the meaning of that song, the actual meaning was not praise the Lord that you and I know. These people were saying, praise our lost, praise our lost, let it go. You know, they were saying that their lost should be praised because it is their lost that have evolved them into this particular activities where they will want to compromise the value of the church. So what they were saying is praise our lost, let the hear it verse. Because it is only their loss that will cause them to be able to compromise the value that the church stands for. It is only their loss that will cause them to compromise. You know, Teacher Abi, you taught us one time about the Berean. I think the Berean. So the Berean Christians, people who were able to dissect the Bible and say, look, we will organize ourselves, read the Bible here for ourselves, analyze it so that somebody will not come and say, oh, A, then we say A. Somebody can say Christ is Lord, we say Christ is Lord. But we will be able to look at the Bible and scrutinize it. You taught us one time in the class, if you can remember. Yeah. Very retentive memory, so I remember that. So these people are not the Christians of Berean. They are not. They are the Christians that believe in the loss. It is what their itching ears wants to hear. So they believe that their loss has lended them some good money. So they sang in the church, praise our loss, praise our loss. These are the people who play Politicked, if you can remember. These were the few group of people who come from Politicked, they were looking like they just leave it. People who should be standing up for value, people who should be speaking against the health in society, people who should be frowning on injustices in our country. These are the people that were talking to Politicked to compromise the value of justice, what the church stands for. I remember men of old, or the Christians of the rear, they say we will not compromise value when it comes to this particular Bible here. We will not compromise the truth. There were men who stood up, like the bishop was saying. Bishop Marco Francis, he was one person who stood up in Liberia against the ills in society, stood up for the people. Today, what is Bishop Reese doing? And it will surprise you to know that some of these churches that have come together and put themselves under this particular banner of Liberia Council of Churches, they are some of the most corrupt churches that you can ever think about. Go to their university. It does not even reflect. I attended the African Methodist Episcopal University. Some of us were affected when we stood against, the increment in tuition. I remember, I want to go there, but in those days, some of us we said no way. If people there, we're supposed to be happy post-college, they just carry money up, and what happened, it happened. But these are some of the churches that have been benefiting from the government. When you look, for example, at these Episcopal churches, you look at, some of these Methodist churches, the schools that they are operating, can the ordinary people afford? And it will surprise you to know that some of these people are receiving some level of subsidies from the government. So how do you expect these people to talk? Bishop Reed is saying that the man can you expire. The man who talking that even you want to crown people, he tell you expire. He should be talking about how to regularize his status amongst his people. They tell you expire, you dead threatening people, and you expect people only because they said his tenure is expired. So how do you expect this man to stand up and speak for the people against what the government is doing? Can you imagine the people who? Yes, sir.
Yeah, this calls for serious concentration, though we had other issues, but with the moral, the moral voice of the country being trampled on like this. And with this upfront, I think it deserves much treat tonight. That's why we are giving it most of all our attention tonight. I think we'll suspend other issues. I think it's very important we discuss this, because for us to have a leadership in country where every fabric of our society is destroyed, you go to the judiciary, the Liberia National Bar Association has to launch a stinking attack on the Supreme Court bench, quite unusual. You go into our legislature, you see a lot of issues there. Executive, there's nothing there working. Then you come to the church, it is the institution which is the face of the church, especially when it's going to civil society. Face of the church is the Liberia Council of Churches. That area is now desecrated, and from what we have seen so far. And then you see the most shameful part is people who are not even in leadership, but of course they have long lifespan with this country, carving and understanding the history of this country. They are condemning this very Council of Churches today. And let me now bring in Councillor Per Brown Brew, who also attended there, but of course she had this to say. And it's very much good that even those of you who sit on Bishop Reeve as your bishop at the Baptist Church, you got to really rethink your position. He's a disgrace to you. He's a misrepresentation of you. I don't think he deserves to even be a bishop of the Baptist Church. And of course, the Prophet Baptist Church, that historic area. Why would such person be there, in fact? And but go, let's listen.
Why now? But the other voice said, tell them, just talking about whom speaker was invited to be honored. I wonder. But then the voice said to me, why now? But the other voice said, tell them, wait, learn, and when you learn, then you'll be able to lead. The age now of this computer, they got us here, I didn't know. They never asked me for a picture or anything about myself. But I didn't have my picture in here. Reverend Bishop Dr. George Brown, and many of those who should be here to hear to know why now? They're not here, but they want to lead when they are now waiting and to know why they should. And it's so funny, why now? I tell you a story. The story has yet to be told. But I'm happy. The first topic is your reconciliation. And I want to say I'm happy I see the executive secretary or director for the establishment of the War Crime Court. I recognize you. And I want to say have seat.
Understanding the program, according to what we have understood from reports, was poorly attended. Most of the honorees didn't show up. That shows no respect for the church. I think it was a total disgrace and mockery to themselves. They got to revisit and know exactly what they ought to do and what they want to do. Especially where we are in this country, I think we have to be very much careful as to how we proceed in the faces of people, especially young folks that are now growing up nowadays. I don't know what's happening now, but Bishop Reeves, under his leadership, like Joseph Walker, under any leadership, is now desecrating that assembly that he has. And I think it's quite terrible. It doesn't speak any good thing sign for the church and whatever it is. I think it's very much bad. we think where we are getting at as a country, the civil society moral phase. Actually, I want to put it the civil society way, because I know churches will preach against bad governance and so forth in their respective sermons and things. It's not a bad thing. And people can say, well, why the church preaching politics? No, the pastor is not preaching politics. Because the pastor has an opportunity to deal with the members who will go to church every time they leave for their offices. They come to church. They come for revival. So when they come for revival, that is the truth should be told. It's just that the pastor should not be biased. That's all. But the truth should be told as you see it, because these are some of the lives that are affecting the members, the very members out there. And you don't just preach. The Bible is actually a word that, of course, affects. It's a food for thought for everyone else. So I think that's it. But again, it's a shame and disgrace from what we noticed today. It is quite terrible for where we are going. But Prince, if you were to look at what's happening, especially from what happened, and let me talk to you, Newton, first, because Prince is just into his children giving him. If you were to understand from all we have sensed with these speakers and the program attended in the form and faction they did, I think it was quite terrible. But again, what image do you think these guys' behavior is having on the general church?
Chief, it has negative image. It portrays negative image on the general church.
Okay.
Yes, for me, that's how I look at it.
Okay.
Because though it may not be inclusive, in terms of other churches, that's why I said we have to distinguish, amongst those churches. Though not all of the churches honor the umbrella of the LCC, right? They have some good churches, on the other side. But the reflection, because if anybody hears the LCC, the Liberal Council of Churches, the first thing they are taught is all of the churches, the conglomeration, all the churches in Liberia is a model umbrella. So anything negative, it has some negative reflection. Though they may not be supporting that decision, but they will have some negative reflection on all the churches with the fact that the LCC is the model umbrella for all of the churches in the country.
You're right.
Yeah, so that's how I look at it.
And that is very bad, especially this country. But this is not only unique to the church. Every fabric of our society that used to stand tall or that were of great respect in this country, I don't know what's happening, that under the administration, everything is gone down. Everything has gone terribly down. Even as we speak, and they still run university, offer degrees to people they took action, but the president is yet to take action in support of the state-run university's decision to revoke a degree. That is not even working as well. You go to the schools, nothing is in place. You go to the judiciary, everything just placing dent, and you seeing the whole society, especially Liberia as a whole, everything is taking a nose down, and it speaks to where this country is headed. Do you see it politically, or you see it spiritually?
I see it spiritual.
Huh?
Yes, I see it spiritual. The reason is, Chief, God, and that's why I've always said that God works mysterious ways. So the way God works, you never understand how he works. And somebody who is destined, if you read the Bible, most of those leaders who were destined by God himself, and they led very well. Want to choose your own leader, you want, so it's okay. Yes. So Samuel, Samuel left, God said, Samuel, go. So when Saul became king, the first thing Saul led the country to war for several years. Yes, several years they led the country to war. And the very people who said they wanted him, they started complaining. So I just want to give a comparative analysis.
The spiritual aspect.
Yeah, the spiritual aspect. I just want to
say that everywhere brother goes, there's trouble.
Yes.
Everywhere else he presides, there's trouble.
Yes. So that's the point I'm coming to now. So I just want to provide a comparative analysis between former President Weah and this. Who is God's chosen?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to right now.
Okay.
So those very people complain again. Yeah, after they went to war, captivity and all of that, famine and all of that, they complained. They said they went to the same God. Say, God, yeah, the leader, we sorry, we want to apologize. And the very Samuel, they said they didn't want Samuel, and how God sent and Samuel to anoint one of Jesse's son. Yes, the former king, to anoint one of Jesse's son, who was David.
Yeah.
And that's how David became king. So the reason I'm saying this is God chooses a leader, and the people resist that leader, and they say they want to choose their own leader. That's the kind of result they get. That's the kind of result. So that's just the point I want to make.
I think that's a salient point,
Yes.
and it's good that you tie in, because wherever Boaka sits, even if he, as well, let's take for instance, let's take a classic example from the CPP perspective. When you talk over the CPP in itself as an institution could not go anywhere. It was in shambles. Not only that, but the internal parties that were aligned to the CDC, they started suffering frictions as well.
Yes.
So that's what you see now. Liberia as a country, we are not going anywhere. Then internally, these little institutions that all make up Liberia,
Yes.
the Council of Churches, the judiciary, everything in shambles. You can now see it speaks to leadership, because leadership has a spirit that hovers over the nation.
Yeah.
And if that spirit is an evil spirit, that spirit will now inculcate itself into all fabrics, to destroy,
the entire fabric.
to destroy the entire society. And that's why I think I'm sensing a prince. I think you already buy into what I'm saying there. Yeah, sure.
Yes, definitely. I do agree, but I also want to agree that I also have a point that it is also physical, because, one thing I understand is that God has given us the ability, He has given us that particular, will for us to make our own decision. When men decided in the Garden of Eden that, it was about time for them to be able to, choose what is right, what is wrong, He said, I have given you, dominion. I have given you power. I have given you authority. So when it comes to the spirituality of, what is happening, I do agree that it's somehow spiritual, but it is also physical. The stubbornness of the people to be able to look at somebody who is a non-achiever. And even what is even more astonishing is, look, for example, Madam Akireli, Olibanki King Akireli. This was the woman a few months ago. If you can remember on record, this was somebody who was calling for, the international intervention in Liberia, and was blasting at, the opposition CDC. If you can remember, she was calling out that the need, for UNMIL to come, or for United Nations to come back in Liberia, because the CDC was exercising a democratic franchise. Today, to see this woman, somebody who has not been the massive friendly, so to speak, to see us standing against this particular act of deception that is being played by few group of individuals under the ban, then you must, I will say, careful, because look at these individuals. We said there are 3 branches of government, right? But there are also some other branches that are not part of these 3 branches, but that play a very cardinal role towards the democratic process. For example, you look at the churches have always played a very cardinal role, even though it may not be looked at as an institution that is part of our governance system, but it has always been that particular catalyst to be able to ensure that government work effectively, efficiently. When you look, for example, at the civil society, even though the civil society is not another branch of government, but they have also played a pivotal role in ensuring that, the governance process is well, is fun, and is okay. So, somebody will say by an inductive reasoning, you can also deduce that the churches, these civil society organizations and institutions, they are also part of the governing system. So if you see that these institutions are compromised, then it means that our democracy is at risk, is at stake. And this is the playbook of Joseph Numa Boyka. Look, Joseph Numa Boyka has placed himself in the statue of the golden image, that everybody must bow to him, that what he says must be final. Let's say, for example, look at the court. Mr. Boyka has subdued the court to the extent that he will even use the Bar Association to be able to trample upon or to speak ill about the decision of the Supreme Court, which is very strange in our governance system. When you look at that, look at even the house of Rep. He has been able to subdue that particular house to the extent that now he has his will. Whatever he wants to be passed at the house of Rep, it will go through according to what we listened to Rachel was saying. If you want something to be passed from the angle of the Senate, it will be placed through. So right now, the only institution now that is remaining to stand up and speak for the institution are these political institutions, like for example the CDC. And that's why we want to use this particular medium to call on our own institution, the CDC, to wake up to the reality. Because Weka is setting a path to rig the 2029, which will be seriously resisted. Because the churches should be speaking against the ills, and let's say this group of people, they are compromised. The house that should be standing against some of the ills in society, today they are compromised. So where are we as it relates to democracy? Where are we as it relates to the separation of power? Where are we as it relates to critical voices? It is scary. And like you said, it's spiritual. I want to do agree that it's spiritual because this man has admitted that he is dancing with the devil. So somebody who is dancing with the devil, what do you expect? You expect that the country will be in total chaos and total terror. But it is you and myself, my brother Newton, and the many Liberians that are here that need to speak against the ill that is happening. Because almost like the church, to some extent, the new voices that we know in the church have failed us. So we got to speak out. It is just so important. It is that.
so yes, so it means now the church needs to stand up right now. The church needs to speak out. The church needs to speak against
the true church. Yes, sure, the true church. Thank you.
And it was on the basis of that, they funded the Liberal Council of Churches. So it was now the basis of certificating politicians who do not deserve the kind of honor they are getting. Yes. So that's how I look at it. So yes, and Prince, all of us are saying the same thing. Yes, to be very honest, all of us are saying the same thing. So that's what I said. The church need to rethink. Yes, most especially
they need to recalibrate. They need revival. Somebody said the church need revival. The church need healing.
Council of Churches, as the mother umbrella governing all of the churches in the country, that's a national organization. It's about Christianity. If you look at the principles of Christianity. So the fact is, anything that the LCC is doing right now, it should speak to the principles of Christianity. It really need to speak to the principle of Christianity. So honoring people who do not deserve honor, for me, I see it, as something that is so much unacceptable and all of that. So in future decisions that they should be taken, or in other things, like you said, they need revival. We need to revive the LCC. Please, on a very serious note, yeah, they really need revival. Yes, because this is, in fact, the thing is, when the crisis were at the Capitol building involving the former Speaker Fonati Kofa, those very people sat there. They didn't do anything, and they knew that everything that the former Speaker stood up for, it was for peace, which speaks to the Bible. It was for fairness. It was for justice. It was for the right thing to be done. Which Jesus Christ said, yes, don't cheat your fellow man, right? Don't go against, don't bear false witness. These are all Bible principle stuff. But those very people, the LCC was there. They didn't do anything. What was their stand? What did they do to find an amicable solution to the impasse at the House of Representatives? They didn't do anything. About 7 months. Imagine 7 months. The entire country was at a standstill. When Speaker Kova's hands were being twisted, they were there. The LCC was existing. The LCC were here. What did they do? What did they say? In fact, they were there calling on Speaker Kova to resign. Instead of them saying, yes, what is going on is not right. Where the truth belongs, let's put it there. But they were there, Speaker Kova. Speaker Kova was a legitimate speaker. Now the LCC, but then the LCC was telling him to resign as a legitimate speaker. Does it speak to truth? Does it speak to fairness relative to the Bible, what the Bible says? It doesn't. It doesn't, Prince. It doesn't.
And when you look at these people, when you look at even their own I mean, some of the churches that is part of the Liberia Council of Churches, like maybe the Baptists or so, you will hear them saying, rescue the perishing, care for the dying.
Yeah.
Is this your rescue the perishing, that you rescuing the perishing?
Yes.
Is this part of the norms that you always say, that slogan, and I always say, rescue the perishing, care for the dying? Is it caring for the dying? Is it rescue the perishing? Look at the people who are dying. Are these group of individuals speaking against the ills? Are they? Is this how you rescue those who are perishing? I mean, those who are languishing behind bars? Those whose rights have been trampled upon? Those who this government have illegally taken from jobs? That today we have several hundreds of them who have been taken away. Today we have an issue at the executive mansion in the office of the president where 74 persons, they say they're paying them. We can't even see the pay. We can't see the individual. Almost about $50-something thousand. And you understand? $30-something thousand on a monthly basis. They said they were paying people. We could not see it. The church is not even speaking against these ills, which is affecting the members. I mean, the damn members that are attending these churches. They are not speaking against it. Where is the church? Where is that critical voice? I mean, where is that church that we will run to for our own salvation or to speak against the ills in society? Where are the critical voices? Oh, where is Archbishop Michael Bakala Francis, who challenged the Santa Code and said, things cannot be like this. We will speak against what is happening in society. Where is he? Where are those critical voices? Where are people? Where are we? So Joseph Newman Blacker, an 80-year-old dictator, want to ensure that he break down the value of democracy in our country, and we sit and for our arms. So the 80-year-old man who is now praying for his recovery is looking at a whole population of 5-something million people, and can make all of us to look like fools. Men will have to stand up. Christians in our society, I mean, the gullible ones, the ones who will not compromise their value for chicken change, they will have to speak out. The pulpit will have to be the place that will preach true salvation and look in the faces of these people that are compromised and say, this cannot be. Oh, where are the John the Baptist? Where are the John the Baptist in our society who will look at this king and say, oh man, what you're doing is not correct? Where are the critical voices? Where are those men, the John the Baptist, who will say and say, look, you cannot compromise the value? We need revival. True Christians, you must stand up against this.
Seriously.
Our nation is bleeding.
Seriously. I like the question, where is the church? And that's the question that remains unanswered. The question that remains unanswered. Where is the church? With all of these, in spite of all of these difficulties, the hardship in the country, when you see 80 to 85% of Liberians living in abject poverty, 80 to 85% of them living in extreme poverty. When the JFK, the dialysis center, people are dying for kidney disease, minor diseases, people are dying. There's no machine there. Where government is making millions of dollars. Where is the church? Bad governance. Why is the church not speaking against bad governance? Where is the church? The University of Liberia, when students do not have buses to transport them to school, where is the church? How did they become effective when it comes to future leaders? How did they become effective future leaders when these facilities are in rain? Where is the church? Why are they not speaking up? Where is the church? But the church is there today, the honoring people who have squandered the resources of our country, people who have amassed wealth at the detriment of the Liberian people. You awarded them for good leadership. What's the good leadership? For 7 months, when Richard could amass wealth for he and his family, millions of dollars, United States dollars, build skyscraper, build good homes for he and his family. When 80 to 85% of Liberians are dying, they don't even have food. Some of them going to bed by boiled cassava. They're not even able to afford a cup of rice to eat. Then the church is honoring. So it means what the honor. You know what it means? It means that everything that Rachel Kunde during the period of the ceremony, everything was okay. So it was at the taste of the church, the LCC. The LCC, the Liberal Council of Churches.
So that's why they honor him. He said, yes, you did well. Thank you so much for your good job. That was, your job was so much distinct job you did. So the kind of good job you did at the level of the horse for the ceremony, come for your certificate. No, when you perform in school, and you get your certificate, please?
For sure, definitely, yeah, you are giving a certificate, you know, and to even admit this man into the hall of bishop,
yes,
the hall, you know what I mean?
They were responsible for the impasse at the House of Representatives.
So this is just to tell you that the church, I mean, this council, let's just say the Liberia Council of Churches, this individual, they also play a role in ensuring that the rule of law at the time was being trampled upon.
Yes, but that's
they
why. Yes, but they was fixed to that. Yeah, there was, because if you do good thing, they will give you paper, they will give you certificate, tell you that what you did was good. So they award against ridicule. So it means that the interpretation of that award is that everything that he did, it was good. He performed well at the level of the hall for the past 7 months, so that the award they provided, they presented him today. So that's just the interpretation for me. That's how I look at it. Because had it not been the performance of ridicule, they wouldn't have awarded him for the kind of what is the distinct role that the ridicule played? What is the distinct role? What is the distinct role? What is the distinct role?
That is the question we are even asking, like you rightly said. You know, people are giving honor for the role that they play in society, the role they play in the church. Now, what role do we know that this man have played? Let's even forget about the politics, because politically his record is tainted. Politically his record is very bad. So what role did this man play even in the church?
Yeah.
What role did he play? Because people are all based on their noble roles that they play. So what noble roles that this man play? Even the children all the way there in Baba, or the children are all the way there, all the way in Chinewine, can tell you that the role that this man play to affect our nation or bring our nation to public ridicule. That's the role that he play. So are these people, this Liberian council of criminals, or this council of corrupt people, of compromise, people who are are looking at you. The future generation are observing the church. That's why I always say, people, right? We must be careful of people who we elect in positions. These people who elect in position must start to look at their records in their community, start to look at their records in the churches, in the mosques, and etc. Because some of these people are public disrepute to even their own congregation.
Yes, completely.
Honoring somebody like this, what are you honoring him for? What has he done? Or to bring our nation to public ridicule? That what you honoring him for? Oh, I see. So you honoring this man for disrespecting the rule of law.
Yeah.
Now we understand. So you are honoring this
man. I just told you that's my own analysis of the award presented. Because for disrespecting the rule of law, for bringing the country as a standstill, for taking the bread people money for 7 months when you are not speaker, about the honor they provide him today. So that's the interpretation of the honor. That's how I look at it. That's my own analysis about the honor that was bestowed to Rachel Kun today. That's how I see it. That's how I see it.
It is sad. It is
so sad. So sad for our country.
It is sad.
It's a sad moment for our country.
Honor this particular man, honor this man's stewardship. They were able to pass the budget Nicodemously and infuse in the budget all kind of things. The level of corruption, the few our budget was bushel, our budget was the people just share money. Their money are given to everybody. So are you honoring this man for this kind of thing? Is that what you are honoring him for? Look, Bishop Reeves, you should be ashamed of yourself. And it is unfortunate. Sunday, what will you tell the people? When you stand behind that pulpit and see the cross, what will you be saying? What will the message that you will be sending out to the Liberian people? That, you can disrespect the rule of law. You can trample upon the Constitution and make us to be equal. You can disrespect it, and the money will come to award you. Is that what you are telling the Liberian people? It is sad. Joseph Newman Boyka is rejoicing because finally, he's saying to himself, at least I have the church under my wings and my caprices. They can do and say what I want them to do and say. This is just your people that you want to show that whether be a civil society or the religious institution that they play according to his record. My brother Nito, you were down there. Under the previous government, how many civil society we had that was every day talking on air? In fact, some of them will wear black clothes, some of them will wear red. They will say that, where are those civil societies today?
They are nowhere to be found. They are nowhere to be found. So it's a serious issue because doing President Weata, I think, in terms of government performance, they had the president meet up, but every time President Weata president always will be 0.7 according to some civil society. So the whole thing, transparency, I don't understand. Yeah. So where is President Weata meet up? The president meet up.
The presidential barometer that they have.
Where is Weata meet up? Because during Weata, remember they had the president meet up, the president's meet up. So where is Weata's meet up?
Yeah.
So what's wrong with this president's meet up? We're not seeing a meet up.
The meter not working again. The meter is not working. The presidential barometer, and they want to happen. So what's the meter now for Burger?
Yeah, so the job we have meter, the job we have meter working. Capturing the workings of President Weah, but now Joseph Burger is in power now. There's no president's meter to track the workings of the president. But just to like, bro, that's the country. So people do things not based on the level of professionalism, but they do it based on personal interest. Yes, personal interest or personal aggrandizement or based on alignment.
Sure.
Because I know this person and I want to do everything. When the person is going wrong, I will have to twist it the other way to make it right because I know the person, because I'm close to the person and all of that. That's why I say because of alignment. So it doesn't speak to fight. It doesn't speak to being real. It doesn't speak to professionalism and all of that. Yeah. So please, we'll have to take a few calls. Then after the calls, then we'll come back to you for your parting comments because of time.
Sure.
All right. So go to the line now: 0772 23 99 33, 0886 30 44 97, and the female line is 0777 98 03 75. You can start to put in your calls right now. Let's get your point we have said all. So we got to get your own interaction about everything we have said. Let's go to live. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I'm okay. What's your name?
My name is Sanjay Maya. It's a very beautiful city in the Republic of Nigeria. I call to make my input when it comes to the council of churches. Do you know why Satan is taking all Nigeria? Because of the council of churches. We don't have pastors in this country. The several pastors here, they have about 3%. What the Bible says that he preached the word of God should live by the word of God. But people are living by the pastors are living by the word of politics. They are living by the word of people's blood. They are stealing from people. They are compromising the Bible. So for this reason, this is why you see the Muslims are trying to prepare for their holiday. Because the church has compromised the interest of their own religion. So when you see some Christians beginning Muslims today, it is because of that. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, what's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed Johnson. I do join you guys on this tomorrow jazz area.
Yeah.
So I'm a Muslim, but I'm here for local country, Matthew Bachar. But the Christian community, you guys that stand for your religion, because these guys are trying to to frame your religion on bad advantage to our society. But we the Muslims will condemn you guys because your hair to be wrong to your
Okay, bro. Thank you. Let's hold you there. Let's go to the female line. Good evening.
Hello, Nico.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. This is the one for CSI and I remember talking to Shifu. Thank you for the conversation tonight. But for the sake of this conversation, let's just refer to Mr. President as having a terrible. You may having a terrible say you're going to dance with the devil. And when you dance with the devil can assign for demons with you. And those demons, some of them are false
so-called referees, and I know how to call the other guy, Secretary General Two.
Yeah, Christopher Two.
Christopher Two. Those are some of the demons that were excelled with the president from the devil. Having a terrible got those demons to come and be errand boys for him. But see, those guys are errand boys. Those guys literally pressure for the people to resign. The people at the back ship pressuring the people to resign and bring that coke before Richard Poole. Are those demons?
All right. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Let's go to the WhatsApp. Let's go to the WhatsApp line.
Hello.
And Emmanuel.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Nimble. The WhatsApp line.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Welcome.
All right. As I was saying, the reason today, Joseph.
Come on. Mr. Nimble.
Yeah, I'm going ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Nimble. I'm getting you.
Getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting you live, Mr. Nimble.
Okay, I'm calling from Minnesota. My brother, when you heard Joseph Braga said that he came to rescue, Joseph Braga came to rescue the society. He came to rescue the Masonic crowd. He did not come to rescue the Liberian people. You see, all the teachers, all the guys are misbehaving in our country, the police director, the churches teachers, and you see all the ministers that don't teach the guy, they are all bloodsucker. When President we have took over, President we have brought common people into the government and hide them. Why is that President we should bring common people into the government? And why you see they were speaking against President we and they fought hard to get rid of President William because they said that the society was no longer new and then they were fighting to kind of redeem the society. No Liberian should lie to themselves that, oh, Jesus Father came to redeem the Liberian people. No. Joseph Father came to redeem the Masonic crowd. And all those guys are in position today. They are all Masonic people. I am telling the common people to stand and stand strong. Other than that, Joseph Braga will not allow the common people to get back to power. Okay. On a serious note, that's why you see there is no justice in our country. Everybody that is in our country running, they are all Masonic people. No common people. That's why you see that even God.
All right, thank you. So let's go to bro, William, bro.
Yeah, I said, my brother.
Yeah, I'm good. Good to hear from you. It's been a while, William.
Yeah, I was finding it difficult to enter. I will call my map friend so he will teach me next time.
Okay.
That's why I didn't appear on the show. I was finding it difficult with the link.
Yeah, to follow the link, right?
Yeah, I was finding it a bit difficult. But I will call Prince. Prince is familiar with that.
Yeah. I think Prince will share with you.
Yeah, after the show, I will call him. We'll talk that one. But today, you see, today was a very disgraceful day for our country. For people who should be guarding our country spiritually and should be the moral voices to guard our people, they are desecrating the church. Yeah, it's a disgrace. But all these things are happening for a reason. Just to expose the hypocrisy in some of these people, because real life they are not worshiping God, they are doing their own thing, they're only using the name of God to carry on their selfish mission. Because if you look at it, what Kun did so much for you to get honor Kun? In fact, why is it the rush? I can't understand. There are a lot of Liberians that they could give a word to. Why choose a Kun that just put the whole country on a problem? So it's a disgrace, and hope our people are observing, and we should learn from this thing to take the right decision in the future. Thank you, my brother, and thank you for the platform and everything. Very well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome as always. Thank you so much, William. Thank you so much. So we go to the female line. Female line. We gotta go here.
Yes, I think we got a call on the female line. Let's go to the female line. Good evening.
Hello, Nito.
Yeah, good evening. How you doing?
Yeah, I was on the line and then my phone is disconnected. Let me tell you, when they tell you, say, devil is on the pulpit. It means that the devil from that God sent down on the earth, that the devil, but the devil using all those people there to be on the pulpit. So sometimes when you see things going on wrong in the church, churches, don't be surprised. That's why they say they get the African show. They say devil on the pulpit. You can see pastors and tweeting things as to say they are not in the know. Everything that's going on here, they know about it. I think was premeditated. They know it from the president to the pastors. All of them, it was premeditated. So thank you for having me.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you so much. And good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Your name and where do you come from? Let's hear you.
There is the voice of Sabu Rasta and phone info point for the BS with you in Zimbabwe.
Go to the point, 1 minute.
No, sure, bro. Let me tell you, thank you for your talking point this hour. But quickly, I just want to back you up by one scripture. Definitely give me a chance.
Yeah, but
the book of Romans chapter 15 verse 1. You getting me?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Bible says, we who are strong have an obligation to bear with the feeling of the weak. The Bible says, and not to please ourselves. Let each of us please his neighbor for his good to earn it. For the Bible says, for Christ did not himself. But today in Liberia, you see country of churches, they're running behind Baka, they people running behind flag. The people are confused, bro. Let me tell you, Liberia is serious trouble. Thank you for having me. I want to talk. Thank you for having me.
All right, Rasta. Thank you.
Serious trouble. It's serious trouble.
Let's hear from Musa Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, Musa, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Good evening and good afternoon to you and praise. It's so appalling and disappointing for our people that we hold in high esteem to reduce themselves to the level of which they have gone. But it is good for our country. It is now introducing that the people you see that you hold in high esteem are never be held like that. But people think that these people that are sitting out of the court and say, council of churches, these people have become the problem of Liberia. Nobody in Liberia is speaking to the power because of money. Everybody on a religious council, what a Muslim council, what a council of churches, or what a whatsoever. Look, these are group of cults. All of them. They are group of cultists. These people are practicing cultists and they think people come to stand on pulpit. Who is the grandmaster of the Masonic craft? Sharif. Man, you can't say man of God. You think that man we talk through the power? When his brother, see that ring on the chicken finger? He's a member of the Masonic craft. The brother who, they will have to honor him. The brother would have done well. You think why they were not speaking? Look at the goal. Look at them. My brother, the problem of Liberia is the Masonic craft. The problem of Liberia is the church. The problem of Liberia, our people need to leave politics. The church need to stay independent and speak to the power.
Thank you, Musa. Thank you so much. Good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, what's the name?
Yeah, my name is Fanny Skadi, 1 million reaction follower of Abraham Gosling Williams.
Yeah, Fanny, 1 minute, go ahead, make your point quickly.
Yeah, thank you for your topic under discussion. You see, this country, we are in serious mess. All the things that are happening in this country, the council of churches feeling things happening today. They're not talking. People suffering in this country. Food for us to eat, they're not there in this country. We are suffering. We are struggling as a young people. We're struggling in this country. Where are we going? So the only thing I want to say today, then I dissolve the whole council of churches.
Yes, there won't be no more council of churches in this country again because they are not people that they are not men of God. Because men of God they are not people.
Dissolve the whole
yes, dissolve them.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your recommendation.
Hello?
Yeah, your recommendation.
Hello?
What kind of recommendation? Yeah, hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, I'm getting you. Can you get me?
Hello, I'm calling from Tansha, West Point.
Yeah, go ahead, make a point, man. I'm getting you.
You listen to me?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Go ahead, make a point. I'm hearing you.
My point is, they stand church go. They stand in a boy girl. They are power in the politics. That they are the council Muslim. Someone speaking a Muslim. They are not pushing the war of God now. They're pushing war of money. And God will mean it. God will mean it. They will pay that price. And they say that they are wicked people. That's what the wicked like how God will take them. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you?
I'm great. What's your name?
This is one of the time the more the Solar movement in Liberia. Let me really commend you people on the show this evening. You know, Christ said in the Bible, although I'm a Muslim, he said the end time it will be many false prophets will enter into the world. You know, today in Liberia, one day really our continent moving, the religious people, Muslim, Christian, they put themselves into politics. It's not good. You know, the former president of the Liberia, they appointed a religious advisor from the Muslim community. I was expecting the Muslim people that pour Islam bending on their face to support the Economic president who was wanting to during the election period. But for me to see the Islamic community, what they love that religion, according to them, they are not practicing politics. They are going to support that Economic president because they may show love to Islamic community and Christians. They lead them there and they vote the current president. Today now, they put themselves as a political group. Because now all of them they are in the government. Can you imagine? Our leader. Today we are very disappointed. We cannot hear him speaking. Because if you work in the government, how are you able to say things that will benefit the people? They see I hear that they say, oh, they want to force the hand of that nation to gain an Islamic holiday. It's a wickedness.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, but you have to stop it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening.
Good morning. Good evening, madam.
Yeah, good evening. Go ahead. What's your name? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Auntie Kumalo calling from Portland for Market Jarosha.
Yes, that's
my brother. The thing shouldn't be strange to us. It's clear that Joseph Boka came way in the country and beginning to win the election. The message we were going to dance with the devil. So that seems still upon the council of churches, so-called council of churches. So the government always rewarding people who do evil. Here, you got ready. Samuel Johnson, who be eating money, who be senator, he other manager, who like, they tell you to call Marco, and call Marco, they reward him with job. Here, the other men that put our country on a hostage for so many times. They passing the budget. Here, council of churches will reward him. So, my brother, the council of churches, they mean that just also in that sort of demon they operating with. Therefore, in society, you already pray to God for we that not a born name to just pray to God at 2029 we council separately. So we will be able to choose our leader. Thank you for putting me in the time.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening.
Yeah, how are you, Nathan?
I'm great. What's your name, sir?
This is Mania. This is the Augustine Bapulu. I call from Wales.
Wow, it's good to hear you. It's good to have you on, Augustine.
I'm very happy this evening. Most especially you being on the show along with Eddie.
Yeah.
I've been expecting to get the station, but it has been a tough time for me.
Okay.
But however, it is good that my brother, through the blessing of God, Nigerian brother is on the air and to now able to get the station.
Okay.
Yeah, my point. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you, Mr. Baba.
The point I have to make here, you see what's being, nobody will go against God, promising child or anything that God destiny.
You can't go ahead. You will say it will be very important to your side. This is what's happening out now. People know for me, I'm living with it. I listen to the lady that they used to call Mother Duke. I listen to all of the prophecies she made at the time when I was a little boy. And this is a promising child that God has given us, George Weah. I don't care what they do. This is the man that will lead the country, and they coming back will bring another brilliant Liberia, very clean Liberia again. We should also be praying that Weah come back and make the day. So this is the point I have to make. Those who against Weah, they are just making that more that Weah is a real leader as we have also in the country.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's good to hear from you again. So, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, your name? What's your name, sir?
My name is Victor P. Tabo. Commonly as Sergeant Play. I do join you from Pakistan to the people beside Africa.
Yeah, Victor, go ahead. 1 minute.
Thank you guys for the topic on the discussion. You know why? All of the good men of God that we had before, most of them are gone. As such, Bishop Malcolm Pakla Francis, the one who used to stand out in charge of the faith and speak the truth. Who look at Charles and Charles was a common out. But those rest of those men of God that we have now, they got the better, we borrow, they run all over the place. They are taken, when they see black, they say white. They are not people to trust. Come up with such a people that die, they just bring a big shame to the Christian community. You call, you say a man of God, and you want it with someone who said that he would drink, if it caused him to dance with the devil, he would dance with the devil, and you call, you say man of God, you going with that type of man, shame on you. Those guys are shameless. They are hungry. They don't know what they want in life.
All right, thank you.
You know the Bible told us at the end time we'll see a lot of false prophets, will become a lot of false men of God. These are the bunch of guys that will get it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Manche. I'm calling you from Japan.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, my brother, thank you for the discussion. But you know, the pastor said this time, the money bene the men I see bene our country looking at it. How you be people of churches, pastor, then you're collecting money for the poor. You giving here a war for waiting because of the wickedness there, or which you're giving here a war. So the thing that they is very bad, not correct. And 2029 they will see the result. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, Amy, how you doing? This is Dave and I call from Magui.
Yeah, let's say go ahead, make a point.
Yeah, you know, I'm a voice to the many voices. We do not have council of churches. We get political party called LCC. They are not pastors. They work with the demons. They work with the society. And all that they do is to prove themselves. This is why God is exposing everything that you see they are going about. Who is Richard Kuhn that had destroyed the country? You gave him war. None of the guys are finished. Let me just tell you, it's a society that's taking care of this country. You can record, I want to quote another year, he said when he wins the election at that time, the nation will control the country. And this is why it's happening. So I just want to say thank you for the program.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your participation as well. Good evening. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah,
I said, my person for Jefferson, thank you, yeah, my son, Eddie.
Okay.
They trust you, Pastor Business, when you talk to the people, they spread their boy for nothing and nothing to the people there, so they get food on your table. But they're not stressed, they're running, nah. They're not running no stresses. They just do it to get food on their table, they laugh at themselves before they say men of God, but they're not no men of God. Then yesterday issue, our president, Now, Boka wanted for that Labura, but the Boka is there with devil. And when you there with devil can get free him when devil getting something that will take it for you. So the devil to see. So devil was still a blessing for you yesterday. But the person that say, hey, boy, because God say, when you're somewhere, when you're two together, when you're come and me, I will be in your midst. The hand I've been having the fire yesterday. Because the stuff they were in, I think, hey, boy.
Thank you. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, that person slipped off. We'll take a few more calls and good evening.
Good evening. This is Maya, from St. Paul's Beach.
All right, man. Go ahead. Let's see.
There. I tell you, let go. You are my children.
Amen.
Satan on life we live in a country. The whole country change. We know what to do. Then council of churches say they're going to do what? They disgrace themselves. They disgrace us or they like US them. Well, they disgrace. For what reason? Then when you go in church now, when you preaching, we listen to you. You know what they were saying? For money business, you acting like that. And what that man said today was true. I'm an old man. It was all that thing he said are truth. That bishop. Look at that thing again. You know the whole world laughing at us. Why are you not doing? Oh, that why you were telling and to step down because of peace or because of the country. But why you never told the men because of the country? It is a big disgrace for you, council of churches. It's a big disgrace, big one. You don't let me tell you something. I tell you.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you. Really? Good evening. Hello?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, brother.
Yeah, what's your name? Quickly, go
Even
ahead.
your listeners.
Go ahead.
You Jefferson says you calling from the borough of Tuta.
Yeah, Jefferson, go ahead.
Yeah, brother, yeah, I said it. Or you see some of the churches in Liberia, what a lot of men are saying. It's not all the pastors just counted. You see some of the churches where can be poor based on the pastor, where you use the pastor when you're teaching on the members. God said can beat you in your church. You can see that in the churches there. Member don't want to go to church. Not necessarily the member don't want to go to church, but what you are doing to God can get best for you. Because you're not doing the right thing that God wants for you to do. As a pastor, you dare to speak the word of God, to tell the member the thing that the member is doing is not correct. Then you, the pastor, you're doing more than the members. Some of the churches now, you see the church, they're sending the churches, they have the people in the church, they clap for them. And people who work at the church, who do everything at the church, when you don't have money, the people can recommend, they get to look at you, the people looking at food, get money.
Hello? 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 Hello, I think this person will be the final.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
How you doing, baby?
Yes, I'm good. What's your name?
You see, Rose?
Yeah, Rose, go ahead. 1 minute.
Yes. You see the churches of council that God himself will deal with them. And God is washing. That kind of pastor, the pastor like the bishop can say, do what I do, do what I say, but not do what I do. And that kind of pastor is what it. You will see the right thing. Then you twist it because of money. That kind of pastor, bishop they say, I can't even say that on it. You can now therefore bishop have money bishop. They will say, this is a big case, a big case, business, they will take money from people for kids. If I in our church, this is the thing what my pastor, my church, now it's part of it, because they know the truth. So all get on stage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
By the way of introduction, my name is Prince Duty today, commonly called Running Star from Jockey.
Go ahead.
The media running star from jockey. Before you run, you have to jog.
Go to the point. Go to the point. We don't have time.
Okay. Okay. One thing I want to recommend is a French journalist and a press on attend Andrew on station yesterday.
I'm all hearing that the RRA road, the government destroying the legacy of George. We have the journalists then try to go there to do fat farming. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So, okay. So, we gotta go now. We gotta go without accepting any more calls. So, okay. So, we gotta go. So, folks, and that's all of the time we have to be here. And thank you so much for being there. Thanks for your listening, Rose. And thanks for your participation as well. And I appreciate all of you for the different views. There are too many calls. You know, for us to move our country forward, we must all work together in one accord to move our country forward. It speaks to nationalism. It speaks to patriotism. This is our country, and this is the country that we can never be deported from. So we have a responsibility to our country to make sure that the best things are done in our country. We must all stand tall and to speak power, to speak truth to power. So my name is Newton Tuta. I've been here with my chief and boss, Abraham Garson William, Prince Sharif from the diaspora, being alongside. And I would like to say many thanks to all of you for your listening, bro. Thanks, bye-bye. Until I catch you here Monday, by God's willing. I face the issue takes we and break to be back Monday. Bye-bye.